Hey folks, how you doing? It's Alan Lang from Vancouver, Canada, and I'm here today because I want to introduce my good friend to you. This is Debbie Gunn. She's all the way out in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we're here today because I actually want to take a few minutes to introduce you to a good friend who I really think could be of value to you. See, one of the biggest challenges that people have nowadays, and if you're watching this video, maybe you're going through the same thing, but the average person trying to set up a home-based business, a network marketing company, or bottom line is trying to get on the internet to just generate some decent profit so they can finally start paying all their bills in full. Now, most people are really serious or are after trying to create that result, and there's tons of great information that we can use to find that. But have you ever been there in that situation where you found some great information, good book, good audio, good DVD, you thought, wow, this is really good material. Yet you go fast forward 30 days, 45 days after, and you look back on your results and you think, holy cow, I didn't even get step one done. Well, what the heck's going on? Research has shown, based on our groups, that the average individual who is left completely alone or who has minimal contact with a mentor of some type, someone who can help them, a support provider, 9 times out of 10, they end up taking months and years to accomplish what sometimes can be accomplished in days or weeks with an apprenticeship. And that's why I want to introduce Debbie with you today, because this is a lady who's about to share her story with you. She wasn't born rich, or she didn't have, a silver spoon in her mouth. She's just like you and I. She had to work hard for her money. She had to get into a career. She had to go through the basic challenges of her life, just like everybody else. But through her challenges and struggles, she has also made it into this field of home-based business. She's also gearing towards building her own huge organization. And I want to bring her to you because she's the kind of lady who can really help you out. At least that's my opinion. But that's why we're here, because I'm not here to force my opinions on you. I'm just here to share my thoughts with you and hope that the information can help you get to that next stage. So you decide as to what kind of asset Debbie could be to you in your life. Deb, I just want to take a minute. Thanks a lot for being here. I'm glad that you're willing to take the time to share your story with everybody here on this call.
Thank you, Alan, for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We're glad to have you. So let's kick this off. I sound like I'm trying to make a big sales pitch here about you, and really I want people to get a chance to know you a little. Can you take a minute and just tell us a little bit about before home-based business, throughout the years of your life, what were you doing career-wise?
I was a flight attendant for Delta Airlines, and I spent the large majority of my life flying international, going overseas to Europe, living in Honolulu. I had a pretty good life up until 9/11. That's when things started to shift.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good up until then. I got to see the world, meet some great people. I had just a lot of great experiences, and that's what I did most of my life. Gotcha.
So you were a flight attendant for how many years?
Well, I'm going to tell my age.
Oh.
30 years. I retired, took the early retirement back in April 2009. So it was coming up on a year that I've been what I call grounded.
Gotcha. Wow. So 30 years in the same industry, getting a chance to travel the world, and chances are you probably got some pretty good deals considering that you worked in the flight and travel industry, right?
I still have those deals.
Nice. Well, that comes up to a big question then, because it sounds like you were living pretty well. You had a chance to travel the world. You had a chance to see just about every part of the globe that you wanted to, and you even got a chance to do it on a great discount because of your employment with the industry. What made you change after you decided, I'll take early retirement? What made you select to take part in the home-based business industry?
wanted to establish some roots. I've lived in a lot of different places. I think I'm the best person at organizing a move and getting someone home packed up and ready to hit the road again. And so the one thing that is really important to me is I want to be home. I don't want to be running through airport terminals. I want to have a normal sleep routine. I want to reconnect with my friends and my family. So that was the one reason why I went ahead and took the early package and decided that I wanted to pretty much work from home.
I gotcha. I guess those kind of freedoms weren't really available in the travel industry then, were they?
No, because you are always on what we call a 24-hour clock. I mean, we have our days off, but when you fly international and you're going through 9 to 12 hours of a time change, it takes 2-3 days for your body to catch back up. And once your body catches up to the time zone that you actually live on, you're packing up and you're getting ready to go again. So,
gotcha.
You know, we have this thing where, you know, time for us is really not time for everyone else. We're on a different clock completely. You know, our whole body has to readjust to wherever we are at that particular time.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, my aunt, she worked for Philippine Airlines for about 33 years, and she said one of the hardest things to do was to get, even after all those years, was still to get accustomed to having to go to sleep at odd hours because you had to make sure you didn't miss that next flight. So you were going to bed during times that your body didn't really want to go to bed, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's hard for anybody. So,
yeah.
I mean, one thing that kind of piques my interest, and who knows, you know, everybody that's watching this video right now might think the same thing. You obviously built up a lot of skills from being involved in that industry because, you know, you got to know, you got to be good with people, you got to be organized, you got to be disciplined to do that on odd hours, at least your body can physically feel that way. Of all the other careers that you could have transferred into, why specifically? What specifically made you decide, okay, home-based business is the spot for me? Why there? Why not something else?